this is getting weird. Odell Beckham Jr., who's a really good friend of Deebo Samuel, a few hours ago went on Twitter and posted that the Patriots are trading for Deebo Samuel. And Deebo didn't refute it. Then Odell Beckham Jr. came on a couple hours later on Twitter and said, I'm really sorry, I'm causing him problems. The real story will come out about Deebo Samuel eventually. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like the Patriots are trading for him now, but what the hell is going on? The only thing Deebo Samuel's posted today is that he's getting bored. Doesn't sound like he's really moved by the 49ers' attempts to keep him around. Kyle Shanahan seems to be digging in. Kyle Shanahan seems to think he's a very popular coach, and that one of his biggest assets is that players like him, and that he can somehow work this out with Deebo Samuel. But what I think might be happening is that Kyle Shanahan may not be as popular as he used to be. He might be losing popularity. I mean, Kyle said after day 2 of the draft that he hasn't talked to Deebo Samuel in a few weeks. That essentially means that Deebo isn't answering his calls. Deebo isn't calling him back. Deebo isn't responding to his texts. How popular is Kyle Shanahan really right now? That was his thing. No matter how bad the Niners were, no matter how much adversity they had, they were tight-knit because they trusted Kyle. But he's in year 6, and I think a lot of people in this locker room feel that he scapegoated Jimmy Garoppolo for everything, that he never takes any responsibility for anything. I think a lot of people in the locker room were against him trading up for a quarterback last year. I think they were blindsided by it, and I think you've seen kind of a little bit of an exodus on this team. I think you've seen Mike McDaniel go to Miami. He's popular. I think Deebo Samuel is reportedly better friends with Mike McDaniel than Kyle Shanahan. Kyle's talking about what a great relationship he has with Deebo. Well, are you sure? How good of friends are you with Deebo really, or did he play you? Did you just think you were good friends with Deebo? I guess we're going to find out, because you got Odell Beckham Jr. saying this and that on Twitter, Deebo Samuel not refuting it, and you over here looking like you're getting played. What's the story here, Kyle? Can you really work this out with Deebo Samuel, or is he going to get traded to the Patriots in a few days for whatever? Because you should, if you were going to trade Deebo, you should have traded him a few days ago so you could get picks in this draft, not picks in next draft. Because if you trade him for picks in next draft, then everyone's going to think you're straight up tanking. And I don't think Jed and Denise and John want that to happen, because then people are going to stop going to their Levi's Stadium and affect their bottom line. So what are you going to do, Kyle? Are you going to fix this? You're going to call up Odell Beckham Jr., tell him to stop tweeting? You're going to call up Deebo, fix this? Or you're going to trade Deebo Samuel to the Patriots in a few days? I guess we'll find out.